Okay, it's December 1st, about 7:45 a.m. my time. Let's take a look at some BTC levels for the day. We'll even take a look at some BSV levels. Here we are looking at Bitcoin USD FTX market. Once again, we are testing these Thanksgiving Day highs. We've tested them one time, two times, and here we are coming up again for a third time as a test. So don't have the best lows here. So at some point I think those will be taken out and tested. But yeah, here we are. Yesterday I did talk about this upper, above 60,000 as a spot. I talked about below 56,000. Again as another spot. Throughout the day we never did end up reaching either of those, so the only trade for the entire day for me was that initial resistance at 59,000, which was the Thanksgiving highs. I ended up covering them kind of just down here in the middle as we were chopping around. So here we are again up at the Thanksgiving highs. What are we going to look at for today? I think there's a good probability now this time that we do break through those Thanksgiving highs. Looking at the S&P 500, which they like to run together with, BTC, crypto likes to run with the S&P 500. I do think the S&P 500 has a good chance of taking out this high here and potentially reaching these upper zones, this is that Thanksgiving, we'll call this a Thanksgiving high on the S&P 500. It lines up. Okay, so I do think there's a good chance we take that out as well. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind as we approach these Thanksgiving highs on Bitcoin. So those levels, so the upper range here, potential spot today could be this upper level, 60,400 up to about 61,000 is still in play for today. On the downside, if one was wanting to go long, again, it really needs to be, if we want to get good, the best trade location we can, I still think below 56,000 is going to be your spot. So it may be a day where we're waiting for some spots to get hit once again. But yeah, here we are this morning into resistance. Once again, best thing to do is wait. Definitely don't want to be going long up here. Don't want to be going short probably either, with the way that the S&P 500 is looking, as well as with the third attempt on these Thanksgiving highs. So 60,000 plus or 56,000 and under. Here's Hawaii, same thing, we're approaching those Thanksgiving highs. I don't love the day's low. Usually a low you're going to want a nice extended profile, not just one that's nice and tight at the bottom there. So again, at some point I think we do take this out and test lower, but for today I think 60,000 plus is potentially in the cards. I will be watching, keep an eye on the S&P 500 throughout the day, and let's see if we can get some good trade location. But yeah, I don't think anything's necessarily changed. We've been going sideways. Pretty much yesterday we went sideways all day. So the levels haven't changed, except what has changed is probably the fact that I won't be shorting this time, because the last time we were up at highs over here, the S&P 500 was also here, which was the upper range for the that entire day's session. It was also a VPOC of the previous day's session, right? And so, which was, the top of this consolidation, right, which was resistance. So last time we were approaching that high, it was a little bit different. Now as we're approaching the high, the S&P is pulled back. It's at the bottom of the overnight sessions range. It's also at the value area high for the previous day. So it's more sitting on support this time as Bitcoin is approaching those highs. So quite a bit different this time. So this time I'm going to sit and wait and see if we can get something to see if it pushes through, hits that 60,000, or comes down to that 56,000 or below.